Button. Boing.
Always push the red button.
Yeah.
Although this particular button is blue. Now that I
Garrett.
Before it was gray.
Oh.
But I could color it red.
If you felt like it.
But then there'd just be this red rectangle on my monitor when I close OBS.
Yeah, that would be less than ideal.
I mean, it would work.
For some value of work.
Yes, exactly. You beat me to that turn of phrase. Hello,
Sorry.
and welcome to Cause and Effect. This is a homebrew D&D campaign, episode 24, which I've decided to name Mutton Mystery.
As opposed to Midsummer Mysteries.
Mutton.
Well, I needed it to be a sheep pun.
And you didn't feel like being too sheepish.
I needed to ram it home. Yeah.
Just think about.
You were very punful.
Right.
Why, thank you. I wanted it to be obvious. There was no pulling the wool over your eyes.
No.
We are not fleeced.
Well, no, I'm not asking for your money at all. Well, except at the end. There is that part of the end where I do ask for people's money. But never mind about
That's true.
never mind about that and the plugs. And EOS Mom Writes Books. But never mind. I'll be your DM for the evening for a variable of DM. Tonight I'm joined by a bunch of awesome people who may or may not help me keep on task.
We will not.
Questionable.
Some of them will actively be opposed to it.
As long as you don't talk about plot, I'll let you go.
What about synonyms for the word plot?
Nope, don't do storyline. Don't do development.
The true plot was the avoidance of the storyline that you did along the way. You know this, right? If you hide in a bathroom for 2 hours... Again, yes, again. That will have been the plot.
It's horrible.
It follows you.
Survive.
Dun, dun.
I love that we're over 2.5 minutes in and I haven't introduced people yet, including Beth, Ellie, EO, Jen, and Milo. Now, it's been a little while since we last recorded. What happened last month?
Giant ram! Paging.
We went out to this little cobalt area because A needs to have a sleepover with their brethren. And while we're there, we're hanging out with the bartenders Eenie, Meanie, and Miney. And then the whole inn got attacked by a gigantic sheep the size of Texas while we were sleeping. Or at least while I was sleeping, that's all that matters.
It was actually taller than Tex.
That's why I said Texas. Extra large.
As in plural text.
Yes,
plural
Yeah.
text. Got it.
Multiple Texas. It was about 2 Texas tall.
Of each other. In a Voltron's type situation, we would be at sheep level. And I tried to do assistance. I actually did something a level of smart, but then I rolled bad. Where I tried to wrangle him with my lasso, with my whip, and like it almost worked. And then me and Tex worked together to make it definitely work. And then
You did go for a ride briefly.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
On top of it for a while.
It was
Poppy
kind of
was
fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we're trying to figure out who messed with the sheepies.
Yes, it was fed a type of plant that is native to the area that when they eat it, it can be fine normally so long as they don't smell alcohol.
But they're next to the bar.
Yeah, because there is a bar involved in this bed and breakfast. They're like, well, what if we kept our sheep in this little stable over here and managed what we feed them specifically so that doesn't happen? This seems like a good plan. And somehow somebody spiked the food of the very large sheep that, again, I reiterate, has the functional stats of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
and
Also-
came through the wall.
Agree to like race it or something?
That was their plan. They want to make a great big racing ram, but they can't figure out how to get the thing to go around in a circle.
It has a movement speed of 50 feet. It can walk faster than many sheep can run. This seems like a winning strategy.
Volunteered to be the rider, but I'm terrified it was me.
Hobby would do it. It's fun up here. Hobby is tall.
Well, this
It might take a whole team of us to steer it.
This is what happened last night. This morning, there are some planks that are hastily nailed across the hole that Ovisaries Rex put in the wall. There's some yellow caution tape as well. The bar has not been salvaged, but there's some sawhorses and 2x4s set up where the bar used to be. And we hope you don't want the 12-year-old scotch because that evaporated.
And what didn't evaporate is soaked into the floorboards, and I'm not licking that.
It has a very woody finish.
Very.
They have a wide variety of water.
What? Oh.
They have water from the well, and water from the well from a few hours before then, and water from the well that, actually don't drink that. We use that for washing the dishes. It has a very soapy taste to it.
Yeah. Cilantro.
But if you burp after drinking this, you will blow bubbles.
No, thank you.
Kurg has discovered this, by the way. It was a foamy liquid, and Kurg was desperate for any kind of alcohol, thought it was beer, took a big swig.
Regretted his life choices.
Kurg wanted some hair of the dog.
Oh, yeah. Also, those guys are here. And Tex went outside and hung out with them, and then carried one of them upstairs.
That would be Kurg.
Carried Kurg specifically. No one took Kurg's plate mail armor off, so Kurg slept in that. No one was supposed to. That was a problem that Kurg created for Kurg. No one was obligated to solve this problem for Kurg. And therefore, it has not been solved for Kurg, other than now Kurg has the consequences of getting knockout drunk while still wearing plate mail.
Unfortunate and loud.
And Dirge, who is the party rogue for the submarine optimals, went to carry Jex upstairs, Jex the bard, who had fallen asleep outside under a tree while Tex was watching. It wasn't creepy at all. Dirge decided to carry Jex upstairs, but not in a fireman's carry or princess carry, no. Grabbed 1 foot and started walking.
How is it that this entire explanation just raises more questions?
Well, Hobby used Mage Hand to keep Jex's head from getting multiple concussions from the stairs.
Right. I mean, I can't carry much with Mage Hand, but I can boost the hit. Obviously, Cavil came, like, the next day.
Cavil showed up the following morning, and it was that gif of the guy with pizzas.
Yes.
Okay.
I cut out everything except the part where I say, if I leave this in, our listeners are going to be very confused, so I'm tempted to leave this in. That's the part I kept. Just be saying that.
Oh.
Obviously, you should keep an outtakes thing, of when everything has gone off the rails. Okay, I'm back downstairs. EO, are you?
It's called the entire episode.
It's all off the rails, generally.
Different rails.
From the beginning. From the beginning, it's been like this.
True.
I mean, even when you were on the train, it was kind of off the rails.
True.
When have we ever been on them?
Well, there's the time that the attack of the
I have a
Stratum.
tip for this.
Yeah, that's about right.
Anyway.
The best part is that's a murder penguin.
Yep.
Yep.
That's something you might confuse people with, if you were to leave it in.
All penguins murder penguins deep down.
Well, there was a death chicken in the last Pack Tactics episode.
Sounds about right, too.
It was made entirely of mostly chicken bones.
Oh, I remember that now. Okay.
Gesundheit.
I'm not talking.
Okay.
But you are there now. So we're all here?
Think we're ready?
I think so.
Fingers crossed.
All right. So we've already done the recap, and I think it's great to have the concept of the guy walking in with pizzas gif. Like, Cavil comes in and sees there's a giant patched up hole in one side of the wall. The old bar is a pile of kindling that has been not so neatly stacked closer to the fireplace. And the new bar is a couple of sawhorses and 2x4s.
Hobby
Why
waves.
is it that whenever I go off to do warlock things for a bit, I come back to a disaster?
The sheep was big.
I was
to be-
there a sheep.
Because we do sheep races, and as a bit of clarification, we are kobolds, so the whole disaster thing is
Bar.
that's the new normal, which is the
Are
old
you
normal for us.
Are you saying that this tavern should be renamed Bar for the Course?
I'm gonna write that down.
Excellent.
That's a good
Yes,
one.
that's
My-
a good name. That's a
Miney
great name,
goes to reach
actually.
under the bar for a piece of paper and then realizes that the paper no longer exists.
Guess we can write it on the new bar.
The pencil no longer exists.
Carve
Well-
it with a dagger?
It's all right. I have a pencil.
Do you?
Cowell goes over and signs the bar.
Bar for the Course. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Sorry.
I'm a
Hold on, I need
bard.
to put that in my
always
notes.
have a pencil.
That's true. Are you saying that you're
it's
barred
a bard
for the course?
course.
Yes.
No, because I'm not playing music for the sheep races, probably.
Probably.
I mean,
I
that-
did not hear a no.
Oh, that's something else. Cavil missed Jex playing the Zolkun,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and Chadrick running up to say hi to Jex, and Jex exhaling a bit too hard into the Zolkun, making a wonderful change in pitch and volume for a few notes, as one tends to do when they see Chadrick running up to say hello.
Really excited to see my friend.
And this was Chadwick we're talking about. It's not like it was a Kenku with undead hands crawling over them, or an 8-foot-tall tabaxi child. That would be way more upsetting.
Alarm.
Tall golden retriever of a person. Hey.
I don't know why the dog walking business failed.
I don't understand. I just got him drunk. It's fine.
For some value of fine. So, giant sheep. Somebody apparently fed it something so it would go wild over the smell of alcohol.
Historically, that's
That
been a really
sounds
bad
like-
idea.
race sabotage that
Mhm.
went very wrong.
Probably.
So if we find out who's sabotaging the races,
Maybe they'll let us ride the really big sheep again.
that's not our mission goal, right? Because I think our mission goal was that A needed to
Have some friend time.
yes.
Kobold sleepover.
And for the record-
Right. But I could ride the sheep again.
For the
Well-
record, you could have multiple mission goals.
I mean, riding a giant sheep sounds fun.
Yeah.
Oh, the best way to catch who's sabotaging the races is to enter the races.
That is traditional. Because then they
Yes,
try
I
and
am going to play music for the sheep races.
There's no rule that says a bard can't enter the sheep races.
they're not barred from the races.
They are not barred from the races. The question is, which of you is willing to be polymorphed into a sheep?
Not it.
Not it either. Don't try it.
Staring
We could
At-
buy a sheep.
bad.
And they're off. And Chadwick the sheep seems to have somehow wandered off the track and into the outhouse. Yes, the occupied sign has switched over. Chadwick the sheep is now locked in the outhouse.
But you see, we know how to steer Chadrick around. We have to get a nice, little bottle of beer on a stick to dangle in front.
It's okay. It looks like a very tall warforged is going over to the outhouse with what appears to be, yes, a hand cart. The outhouse has been lifted off of the ground.
Sign that says A's over here. Would be on it. Our fight is, bathroom, and they put the bathroom sign above the end, the end of the race.
Yes, that's
There's-
right. You have to.
I'm going.
Greyhounds will chase a toy rabbit going around the track. Sheep Chadrick would be chasing a picture of A,
Aww.
which, when you are polymorphed, you take on the intelligence of the thing you are polymorphed into. So
Which one is
this
more?
could possibly work.
So, Chadrick, you want to be our sheep the event? Does anyone have polymorph?
You think I have spells?
And my mic.
Cut out again.
Well, I do not have polymorph.
I do? Let me
Uh,
look.
This sounds like a plan destined for failure, so we're happy to help.
Yeah, can you polymorph me?
No, but I do have a pile of wool and some glue.
Would that work?
No, but it'd be funny and a great way to spend the morning.
We could stick it to Chadrick's armor. Does Chadrick wear armor?
Do I?
That's an excellent question. Does Chadwick have
I
armor?
would like to reiterate that buying a sheep
chainmail.
might be possible.
I am wearing chainmail.
I heard everything except the word right before might. And it wasn't because your mic cut out.
Buying a sheep.
Buying a sheep.
But
Yeah, it's
wouldn't
kind
it
of
be-
weird that you kind of just like bypass that as a possibility entirely.
But
I
there would be so
didn't
much.
bypass that. I suggested it.
But we could put glue on Chadrick's chainmail,
Do
and
that too.
right, and then Chadrick could run a victory lap around the thing before the races as
A mascot?
yes.
Then why don't we just put the wool onto mech?
Oh no.
Because the Warforged have their dignity.
Because everyone else said not it already, including everyone in the suboptimals who are also down here for breakfast and not party to this party's shenanigans. They overheard that part and they still
I think
said
we
not it.
might be inventing sports mascots.
We should. Come on, Chadrick. You want to be a sports mascot, right?
The question is, who's going to break it to Chadrick that he has supplanted A as party mascot? And I love that was a nat 1 on a charisma performance skill check.
So yeah,
Oh
I
no.
cannot convince people to not have me do this.
Miney still thinks it's a great idea because whatever goes wrong is not Miney's problem.
Good as the time that I
It
moved during the
appears-
Charlie Brown show.
But I cannot see any dice rolls people make.
You click on the like there's a bunch of menu items or whatever, and click on the one that's the two talk bubbles. It'll
That's
show the
what I'm
roll.
on.
That show
I mean, I'm looking at it. It's just that the last thing anyone rolled was Theza rolling Eldritch Blast.
Oh, you didn't see the
Oh, what
Yeah,
browser are
Chadwick
you
just
using?
rolled this.
phone.
Edge.
Okay, I don't know anything about that one.
Did
And,
anyone see
and you
that?
just rolled an 18.
Yeah,
saw-
I saw it.
Yep. I saw it.
Okay.
Did you see that you rolled an 18?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw that I rolled an 18. I apparently cannot see.
Other people's. That's all right. We'll call them out
It's-
for you anyway.
So,
Yeah.
so long as people can see their own rolls. It's nice that
Someone
the
else-
GM, can see it too. But so long as you can see what you are rolling, it's good.
Mhm.
Could someone try to roll a die and I will see if I can see it?
I
That's
will
a
roll a
dangerous thing to
die.
request.
See a dice.
Let's see. What dice can I roll? What dice?
Any dice.
Does that one roll a dice?
Okay, I saw Hobby cast Ray of Frost 3 hours ago. Oh, now I see a die.
No.
It also says 3 hours ago.
I
It says
think,
8 seconds ago to me, but at least you see it.
does your computer clock say 7 or 10?
Says 7.
That is
Huh.
a fascinating bug. I'm not going to complain about that. I am intrigued.
At least you can see them. Also, Hobby
Yes.
presumably has an ice drink now. Ice water.
So I cannot figure out how to modify my dice without scrolling up to the very top of this window.
Ditto.
So
Ditto.
configure settings, module settings.
I never delete that message because it's the only way I know how to change the dice.
Valid. Yeah, it might be in configure modules. I don't know. Anyway,
Don't mind me, I'm just casually going through and deleting messages to make the customized dice button be closer.
valid.
Verify.
Yeah, go ahead.
But
So
but don't
valid.
pause
There we
the
go.
conversation on my part.
Would we pause
So,
conversations?
So So you want to buy a sheep?
Well, unless someone wants to, I still think we should put the fleece on Chadrick and have Chadrick to take a lap around, like at the halftime or just before, maybe waving a flag.
I think that'd be incredibly funny, and it doesn't hurt me in any way, shape, or form, so I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you want to buy a sheep, I don't have one to sell you.
Can we rent a sheep?
Well, not from us, but we rent out the stable to a few other teams,
Oh,
so you might
Wait.
want to talk to them.
wait, you have multiple teams in there?
Yeah,
Doesn't
including Osiris Rex. There's 4 teams in that stable.
don't the team's owners have a vested interest in sabotaging the sheep on other teams?
Oh no. Well, yes.
So how do you keep them from coming in going, I'm taking care of my sheep and not slipping anti-alcohol drugs to Oviceres Rex?
Well, we had a plan. It involved breeding a sheep that was the size and demeanor of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That worked pretty well
Uh-huh.
until last night.
And how does this keep the other teams from sabotaging each other or sabotaging Rex?
Well,
I don't think
except
they
for
could
the-
sabotage Rex. That thing's
Hey,
huge.
Well, they kind of did.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice the shape
The
of
hole.
the bar is now.
right.
It was a form. It was 3-dimensional. It's now a shape. It is 2-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good point.
Yeah. Well, bad point because it proved me right in a way I didn't want to be. But in regards to the other team sabotaging each other,
Mm-hmm.
we filed that under a not our problem.
Respect that.
So
All right.
you'd have to talk to them. And maybe they wouldn't mind renting their sheep to you for a race.
That works.
We should ride Oviceres Rex around as a mascot thing.
So every single time you say the name, I hear the ova and I think of an egg.
Eggy Rex.
And so I just think it's a giant, like hard-boiled egg that we're
Now-
trying to wrangle.
All of these random things are happening. Tex is unarmed strikes and over. Okay,
No.
it looks like it's slowly
Crash is-
deleting.
That's what Crash
Yeah,
is
I'm
doing.
clicking. I'm deleting them.
This is
Okay.
Crash.
I'm making the text, the chat channel be smaller by getting rid of stuff from previous weeks.
So we can get to the dice more easily.
The meat of it. Yeah, every single time I see Oviceres Rex, I think it's an egg.
Yeah, Ovis aries is the Latin name for domesticated sheep.
I know, but egg.
But yes, I thought of that also.
Gary's.
Getting
The
an
best
egg.
part,
Eggeries.
the best part was I came up with this next part of the storyline right before Easter.
That is an angry egg. Angry egg gif.
It's a ghastly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that GIF is ghastly. You're right.
Egg gif. Maybe you should go out and catch a wild
It's a good
sheep.
yolk.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're gonna get a wooloo. Wooloo.
Maybe we could go out and catch a wild sheep.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, there's a few kobolds who tried that.
Mhm.
The local farmers asked us to stop.
But those aren't wild sheep.
Yeah, that's what the local farmers said.
Right. So we need to find a wild one.
You're not gonna.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Where do you think wild sheep are indigenous to?
Mountains.
No.
Mhm.
Those are goats, maybe.
They're sheep.
Yeah, like sheep are a domesticated animal. There really aren't wild sheep. If they are away from their herd, they die.
Islands.
Hmm.
Which is actually true.
Where-
There's an island with a primitive breed of sheep called the Soe sheep that instead of growing fleece that has to be sheared so that it doesn't die, they shed like dogs.
Yeah, neat.
That is your history lesson. They're also tiny. They're like knee high.
Oh yes, let's go on a pilgrimage to the mountains to get some sheep.
Mhm.
Then.
Acorn sheep.
So
Good news.
we can
This
hang
valley
out.
that we're in is higher than some mountains. You're there.
Yay! Yeah, so we can hang out while A has a sleepover with their brethren.
That is essentially the story of what's going on right now. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We are literally wasting time while A has his sleepover hangout episode of his TV show.
Or her. We don't know which one A will pick.
You could argue that you're doing this while A is getting hormone therapy. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're being like the good supportive friends who are just waiting outside the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and maybe also engaging in some
Shenanigans.
light gambling.
Light shenaniganery.
I love that word so much. I only started hearing it after I started watching Overly Sarcastic Productions. And it's the first time I heard them say it, I was like, stealing it. It's mine now.
That's a good phrase.
Oh, look at that.
I know, this whole thing with hard candy infused. It's a mega candy.
All right. Around this time, a kobold wearing a large floppy hat, not that kobold with large floppy hat, but it's daytime. So a lot of kobolds will wear large hats. An oddly high percentage of them look to be like the kind of hats that a little old lady will wear to church. So they're very large with fake flowers stuck into them.
If you're going to wear a hat, you should have fake flowers in it, obviously, or fake feathers.
Wearing derby hats?
No, it's not wearing a derby hat. It is wearing the kind of hat that the one that I'm picturing in my mind is when I was a young crash. When I went to church and saw the little old ladies who were, because I was a little crash, they were still 3 times as tall as me. They all wore these hats that were about as wide as their shoulders, that were horrid pastel colors with a number of flowers on them that was that probably weighed more than the rest of the hat. And that is the exact hat design that I'm thinking of.
Hat.
A what hat? A derby hat?
A woman wears the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, okay. I think of them as church hats because I only ever saw them in church.
That's super fair.
I didn't know of a name for that. But in any case, a kobold walks in wearing one of those hats. And they're like, hey, Eenie? I'm Meanie. Oh, sorry. Enie's the one on the left. No, that's Miney. My left. Oh, anyway, confusing names aside, did you know there's a big hole in the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait, I
just
thought that
checking.
was door part 2.
You thought that was what?
That was a joke, but I was like, no, I thought it was door part 2.
It's
well,
shortcut into the stables.
Emergency exits, you know? Or, as it were, emergency entrances.
It was definitely
Okay.
an emergency entrance.
Just so you know, it wasn't any of us that did it. Yeah, we know. Okay. Just checking to make sure we don't get blamed for it. You won't
Depends on who fed what to whom.
be. No, I already had breakfast.
I like
That's-
roll insight on this.
You
Third
can
base.
definitely try.
Totally not suspicious conversation.
I would love for you to roll insight on this. Oh, you changed your dice to be very pretty. That is a wonderful translucent purple. Okay, with a 19, chances are whichever kobold this is might be one of the kobolds that is on one of the other racing teams that manages a sheep in the stables. Because they know Eenie, Meenie, and Mo, but they don't know them well enough to tell them apart. And they are talking about the structural integrity of something that they saw before walking into the front door.
That is sketch.
Who, what, where?
I said that's sketchy.
Oh, no, that's not sketchy. That's Jim.
Oh, you're right. I should have known.
Patrick, how do you only have a +2 wisdom? You're a paladin.
Suboptimal.
I purposely made a suboptimal man.
Optimals were over next to us. No, wait, those are submarine optimals.
Yeah, like the thing is I also want you to know, EO, Chadrick is so weak that D&D Beyond wouldn't let him multi-class.
He's not good at being a paladin, and it's the only thing he can be.
Yeah, because I tried to multi-class with someone else to make him even less optimal, but it said I had to have at least 13 strength.
You don't have a 13 strength?
No, I have 11.
Well, that certainly is a strength score.
Yeah, picking that for your strength score was a choice.
That was a choice. That was a strength score.
As I said, I'm here to mess things up.
Yes, you
And
mostly
kill
mess
steal.
things up for yourself.
And kill
Yeah, all I
steal.
do is kill, steal, and lie.
And drink. And be a best bud to a kobold.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's all
Who was
that
meant to be cannon fodder.
I said no.
I mean, we all kind of said no because Hobby charmed A and said, "Don't worry, we'll keep you safe. We'll take care of you."
Charm day.
Right? Yeah, Cavil charmed A, and Hobby heard, "We'll keep you safe," and Hobby said, "We will keep you safe." And we just this happened, and then poor A was being carried around like the child carries around the cat under the arms. Pulled up against Hobby's chest.
Yeah.
Because the DM did not successfully create cannon fodder.
I should have realized with the people who were involved in that game that you were going to adopt somebody. And honestly, I did know in my heart of hearts that you would.
Mm-hmm.
However, I was not expecting it to be the very first kobold you
my
saw.
character token.
You're moving it back and forth?
Are you
So again,
pressing arrow keys?
That's all kobold campaign.
I'm
Why
not
do you
using-
think we would attach
I'm not using the arrow keys. I'm trying to figure out why the arrow keys won't work. Okay, now they work.
Interesting.
And also,
This is, by the way, making for great audio recording. But more importantly, no, it's great. I love this. This is what happens every single time I use Foundry. It
We play
doesn't
with
matter
arrow keys.
what campaign it is. My after-school club, half the time we're in Foundry, all the various players are doing is moving their characters around. They don't even have a map because we do theater of the mind in my after-school club.
Mm-hmm.
So the characters are in this empty grid chasing each other around, and it's the funniest thing for them.
Well, yeah.
It's fun.
Oh.
It is. It's wonderful. I love it. I unironically am seriously enjoying it. And also, if I'm holding my push-to-talk button, which is control, I end up moving the map around instead of Jim, who I'm trying to control right now.
Good.
But yeah, Jim the Kobold. They do have some siblings. They have 3 siblings that are on a racing team with them. Kim, Zim, and Pim.
No, Tim?
That's someone
Actually,
else.
Tim wasn't interested. He took up mushroom farming.
Oh, wow.
Reasonable.
Fair.
He was named after a friend of the Circle of Tales.
Aw.
Real tall guy.
Aren't most of them?
Yeah, I guess. Also, he was an undead warlock. I think that's more of an identifier than saying he was tall.
Uh-huh. Definitely. Very
Yeah.
much. That's much more uncommon.
Some said he was an enchanter.
Was his name Tim?
Yeah, that was the joke.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly why Tim was named Tim.
Okay,
Named after Tim.
Warlock Enchanter is a weird multi-class, but I don't think I have any room to talk.
No, you
Maybe
don't.
not. Mhm.
Nowadays, we just hang out in a salt mine. I'd say it's a living, but, the whole undead thing.
It's an unliving?
We're workshopping it still.
Excellent.
It has been a while since I did the Tim voice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
and-
Anyway, Jim just spends a little bit more time awkwardly making sure that no one's going to blame their particular team for what has just happened, and then heads out the door to their sheep.
Ah, wait.
I told you it wasn't us.
Right, which means, that you have a vested interest in figuring out who it is, right?
Well, my first thought it was they stop and then they crouch down, which is a challenge for a kobold. They're already pretty low, and sort of lean towards you in a conspiratorial way. And they start to do a whisper, but if it's not obvious from my kobold voice, kobolds think stage whisper and whisper are synonymous. Well, if you have to know, we're pretty sure the group that's been cheating the most is 99, which is, well, and Jim is making sounds while making a head nod motion towards Eeny, Meeny, and Miny. The scuttlebutt, which I'm trying to spread as much as possible, is that they've been using performance-enhancing fodder.
Ah.
This makes some sense.
Doesn't
Can I check
everyone?
for drugs?
What?
Can I check for drugs on the sheep?
Well, not where you are.
No, but I'm asking if that's something I'm allowed to do with my party warlocks, party paladin skills.
You know, I love that there was a moment where there was some confusion about whether you were a warlock or a paladin, because this is the second campaign in a row where that has happened by a character.
Burp
Oh.
swore a pact.
Yeah, Burp did swear a pact
Yes.
to become a paladin.
Yes.
Yep.
I also want you to know that I actually raised my hand in real life while I was asking that.
Oh, I do when I was making the sounds of the head motions, I was actually doing that head motion, and I'm very glad I didn't smack my microphone in the process. When I am in character voices, I am gesturing emphatically when the character is gesturing emphatically.
But yeah, do you think I can use my party powers to look for drug tampering?
You may certainly attempt it.
Do you think that would be a perception or a medicine?
Between the two of those, I would argue medicine would probably be the better choice.
Nope.
That is a nat 1.
Oh no.
Not in a row.
So, first of all, you're not going to be able to do any of this where the characters are right now. So, might I suggest you reconvene in the barn?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to ask if that was allowed before I walked over to like the feed and then yelled I was going to do something. That'd be polite to ask.
It's amazing that you decided to be polite. No one else decides that in this group. Well, that's not true. No, the kobolds don't decide to be nice ever.
Didn't request to do things with my character that you say no to. So
Well, I can always say no, or I can say yes and. Now, here's the question, because this is amusing to me. It is established Chadwick is not doing this correctly. How
No.
does Chadwick screw this up?
I try it myself.
Yes, but what are the motions Chadwick goes through when investigating the feed for drugs?
I stick the food in my face.
Gotta taste it to see if it's drugs.
He was doing.
So, what, do you just like smack it up against your face, or do you chew some of it?
Like, I can digest it.
Cum, cum, num, num.
For the briefest of moments,
Paladins are
Chadwick...
immune to poison.
Yes, they are. And for the briefest of moments, Chadwick is one set of bib overalls away from looking like a farmhand. Okay, the monocle is still a little off, but never mind.
Yeah.
Because
Classy.
Chadwick is still a golden retriever of a Final Fantasy XIV character.
Yes.
A specific Final Fantasy XIV character whose name I never remember because most times I've heard it, Milo has deliberately been mispronouncing it.
Yes.
And I'm okay with this because I don't care enough about Final Fantasy XIV to know actual lore. But that's the thing. All I know is someone was walking around on a moon in one of the cutscenes, like, okay, this is a thing. And then there were several cutscenes that played in a sequence that were unskippable.
Yes.
Is Lily Fleece that much bigger than the other two?
Not
Or is she
supposed to
just
be.
Fluffy.
Oh,
Is she just
okay.
fluffy, like extra fluffy?
Well,
Maybe
Lil
that's-
E is a bit larger than the others. The name is
Okay.
somewhat ironic,
Okay.
but it's not that ironic. It should not be double the... Actually, it's labeled at 1.5 for its size.
50% bigger.
Oh, there you go.
It entered one of those instant weight loss plans.
Either that or it deflated its fleece for a little bit. You know what I
It
mean?
could be, yeah.
All
it
these
may-
strangers walked in, it may have been puffing itself up to look more dangerous.
It may... Yes. That's how sheep act when they see a threat. They puff up.
Puffer sheep. Puffer sheep, obviously.
And then they start to slowly lift off from the ground. It's a good thing you can spin the wool into yarn as they're lifting off and you have a string to hold onto them.
It's a balloon.
I want this to be canon so much.
Don't let your memes be dreams, Crash. Make it real.
You know what? I really want to do a Cypher System campaign. Imagine, if you will, one where cartoon physics are all actual physics.
Neat.
That would be hilarious, I think. I have thought of no plot that will work for that.
Mhm.
Unless I just copy verbatim the plot of Roger Rabbit, but
Oh, right.
I'm pretty sure Disney would be okay with me doing that.
For some value of
Disney
okay
and Warner Brothers.
that has lawyers.
All right. Well, Jim, let me check my notes. Jim's team is in charge of thread count, who's over here.
Uh-huh.
And the reason why Jim was here today was specifically to make sure thread count was doing okay and give thread count some more fresh grass and straw to eat. Oh, by the way, it does come up. There actually are no rules
Just right.
about what you can feed them. So performance enhancing fodder is legal.
Am I enhanced?
Well, the image for your character seems to be more well defined than many of the others. So it's possible a CSI filter has been applied. But you don't feel enhanced. Okay, you rolled a 16. So as you're thinking about it, like, do I feel faster, stronger, bionic in any way, shape, or form?
Am I the first
That's
member of the
reference.
DK crew?
You laughed.
That's inspiration. Like, you do feel different. You feel a little weird. Everything does look like it's like clearer. You can perceive it. Oh, you have a word for this. You know this word. Sober. You're sober.
Oh, no. That thing made me sober?
No, there was no alcohol in the bed and breakfast. It all got smashed last night by a giant sheep.
I thought the food like sucked all of the alcohol. Like it made my liver work faster.
No, you did not wake up drunk. You let drunk sleep. Drunk was Kurg.
Yeah, that's true. This time I was responsible.
Yes.
Isn't that something?
It's happening more often.
Well, the thing is, right now we're on a fun mission. Like, we're doing something for A, and like we're helping out the community that we hope A can be part of. So I'm being extra good.
Or at least be part of long enough to
Take care of themselves.
stabilize.
Okay, so I'm also seeing a roll of 20. Looks like a dirty 20 from Tex for investigation, and a 13 from Cavill. What are the two of you investigating?
There was also a Nat 1 investigation from Hobby.
Yes, that was Hobby. Hobby is clueless. This is all sheep to her.
Ethel has wandered out to go investigate the sheep stables.
I can't believe the wool was pulled over Hobby's eyes.
Okay, so in the sheep stables, is there anything you're looking for in particular? Which on the
Evidence
map you
of
should
tampering.
be able. In theory, your character should be in the thief stable so you can see it now,
Yes,
unless that didn't update properly.
I see.
I had to make the browser bigger to see it. So
Okay, all right. So as you're looking, let's see, Cavill, what do you notice? Notice
Cavill is looking for potions.
potions. Okay.
Because potions are magical and Cavill can see magic, and therefore, if there's any magical enhancement of sheep or an enhancement of sheep.
You're looking for the magic.
You don't find any magic in here that you didn't bring with you. The party has lots of magic, but the true magic was the friends you made along the way. The sheep aren't magical. Even Ovis Aries Rex might have been transmogrified and enlarged somewhat through the use of magic, but the feed that Ovis Aries Rex currently has is of non-magical qualities. And the rest of them are rather mundane sheep, if you do say so yourself.
Sheepy, 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 sheepy.
and Mech is keeping an eye on Chadrick, having never seen this man sober before.
Like, who is this person and what have they done with Chadwick? Are you a doppelganger?
Color,
Now-
my hair has a sheen to it.
Oh no!
And it's not because you dunked your head inside a keg during a cheg stand that went poorly?
Yeah,
Now, Cavill,
I'm not squinting. My eyes are wide open and alert.
which is bad news for the monocle, because if you open your eyes wide, that thing is
Oh,
not
there it
staying in
goes.
place. Yep. Now, I do want to address the 20 that Tex rolled, but I want to finish up what I'm saying about Cavill. Cavill, would I be wrong if... Okay, usually I am. But would I be wrong in this particular case if I assumed that you were still making use of your Converse chucks of flying.
That's probably not wrong.
Okay. My assumption is every second you can be using them, you are using them, because the purpose of having a pocket watch on a chain is to pull it out of your pocket and smack it against the table every 5 minutes to let people know you have a pocket watch on a chain. And you've got turquoise Converse sneakers that have bat wings. Never mind about that. Yeah, Cavil's feet will never touch the ground again. Pretty much. That's my headcanon. I can be wrong. Well, as you're flying around, the rafters that are above the gate for Threadcount's pen, Threadcount being the sheep that Jim is currently giving a brush down to, and creating a very large pile of fleece next to it, has a tiny little ladder. Like, it looks like a ladder for a doll that has been nailed to one of the beams that goes over the gate.
Weird. I'm going to point this out on the game radio.
What I love about this is, at this point, you're all in the stable together.
Same room, yeah.
So when you use the sending stone, the flagstone, if you will, you definitely can do this, and I will not stop you. It doesn't use up a charge or anything. But when you do, everyone hears your voice in stereo, which makes it better.
Depends on how loud.
So it happens out loud?
Cavill is trying to say things without Jim hearing, I think.
You do still need to say your half of the conversation out loud unless you're psychic.
But I can whisper it.
You can whisper it, yes.
Do y'all need me to be your in-between for a secret conversation?
No.
Okay.
No, that's
Not
all
yet.
right.
Not yet.
Just be warned, whatever messages that you want to send through Chadrick will be sung to the tune of the Party Rock Anthem. Or whatever earworm Chadrick has decided to put in your brains today.
Hallelujah. Which is
Please,
not
that
a Christmas.
song.
It's not a Christmas song.
I have never liked that song.
Oh.
I don't like the tune.
That's a shame.
It's an aesthetic thing. But
Okay.
in any case, this message has been passed on.
Next
Now-
text.
Now,
No.
Tex, what were you looking for?
Specifically evidence of generally tampering and specifically evidence that someone was there who wasn't supposed to be.
Okay. And you got a dirty 20. So let's see. What do you find? All right. So in Iron Wool's pen, most people wouldn't have noticed it because it's a leather pouch that's the same color as the straw that Iron Wool is walking on top of. But you do find it. And when you pick it up, there is a sound from inside the pouch that sounds like broken glass. Do you open the pouch?
Not here.
Okay.
Near Rex. There's a staple thing right outside here, which Hobby did crack the door to peek out of, I think. Yep, that door.
Yeah, you can open and close the doors on this map. You're not prisoners here. Just don't let the sheep out, please.
That's why Hobby did.
Oh no, Tex. Yeah, I say that and I look over and Tex has the door open to the pen with Iron Wool in it. You were 2 seconds away from me moving Iron Wool out of there.
I mean, I had to go in to get the pouch.
Fair and valid.
But yeah, I'm going to take it out in the yard.
Okay. You take it out in the yard. Do you open it up out in the yard?
Everything I'm typing in chat is to the tune of Party Rock Anthem.
Yes,
Sure.
I open it.
Sorry.
Yes, I open it in the yard.
You find the shards of a broken mirror.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
You can, although I will tell you that Cabal can cast it
Doesn't
at will.
look magical.
I mean, true,
Yeah,
I
there's
also-
nothing in that stable that was magical except for the stuff that the players brought in with them.
Okay, I was hoping it was a magic mirror.
I mean, that would be the past tense, sort of was.
Magic items
You
tend
also-
to not be easy to break, so it would likely have not been magic. Or it could have been
Eh.
magic and lost its enchantment when it was broken. Ellie,
Anything except.
I love that. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the woolliest of them all? The shards form a picture of Tex, and there's text underneath that says, "Not you." But it's spelled E-U-E, or E-W.
Oh.
I thought it was.
I thought that was EYE.
I just said that. I was nervous.
You were Chadrick. Sorry.
Hi, Nervous. I'm Crash.
Oh no.
I will still always have a warm spot in my heart for when my brother, and me did a one shot where everyone was playing a dad.
Oh, God.
And they were having this big meeting, and the NPC stood up in front of everyone and said, I am invoking the right of conclave. And all the other characters at this live show said, Hi, invoking the right of conclave, I'm Dad.
Yes, it was the call to action. The
It was
Dadlands was very
Action.
good.
Dad.
What was that, Ia?
Call to Dadshin.
All to dad
Call to
shit.
Dad.
Crash cracked up.
Yes, if you don't have inspiration, you have it now. Do you have inspiration? Where is the button for that? Yes, you have inspiration. Okay. Then you get nothing. So there, because you already have.
Satisfaction.
Yes, you do get satisfaction.
Good thing you're already a cat.
Got to make a pun.
The highest form of comedy. Anyway, we've been recording at least for just over an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
You.
And we're back, most of us. Io had to go, and where we left off, Jim has finished taking care of thread count. They climb over the low fence thing. To be fair, Hobby is like right in front of the gate, or was. Hobby's now moving back and forth, but Jim is already over it by the time Hobby moves out of the way. And Jim starts heading out the door, which I'm not measuring where Jim is going. Okay, I'm also measuring where Jim is going. There we go.
Far.
Yeah, Jim heads out the door, and they see Tex looking at a bunch of broken glass and goes, you probably shouldn't feed that to the sheep.
Yes, I did not intend to.
Okay, just checking, because now I've kind of got sabotage on the brain, so I'm thinking about that a lot, and then I see someone with a bunch of broken glass right outside the sheep pens, and you know how that looks, right?
I found it in the sheep pens.
That's not good.
I tend to agree.
It keeps them sharp.
I'm not sure you're using the same words I use. Maybe my common isn't that... Common's a second language for me. My first language is Draconic. Anyway, what is that? Is that like a potion bottle or something?
It appears to be a broken mirror.
Oof. Hope you didn't break it. That's 7 years bad luck.
I do not believe I did.
Okay. Well, lucky you then. One last thing, and I hope I'm not like overstepping at all with this, but you're investigating stuff, right?
Yes, for a certain definition of stuff.
You're a ragtag band of adventurers going into a stable where you don't really know anyone or have any vested interests. So it looks like you've picked up a quest. Thing is, I don't know how many kobolds you know, but pretty much everyone you meet here that's a kobold, almost all of us, has lost a lot of family, specifically to ragtag bands of adventurers. Whatever you find, and I hope you find it, maybe report them to the local authorities rather than taking justice into your own hands. Just a suggestion.
I would love to let someone else handle this.
I appreciate the suggestion.
Jim
I am
looks over... Sorry.
I am investigating this because I am the one who had to deal with the very large sheep rampaging through the bar last night.
Yeah. I can see that chain of events. And, for the record, we also like when somebody else deals with it, but not when they deal with it by making there be a smaller number of kobolds. Anyway, I'm off to bed. Good night, everyone.
Wait, isn't it morning?
For a
Kobolds
kobold?
don't like bright light.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This is exactly why they have the large floppy hat.
I really thought that they were doing the horse racing thing really strong.
I mean, that might be why large floppy hats are worn to these particular races.
Sunburn.
What's that terminology for when evolution, like convergent evolution, where totally different things lead to the same thing?
Convergent evolution. Convergent,
Yes,
yeah.
convergent evolution. Eventually, all hats at races will look like giant crabs.
Yes. Hobby would like to investigate the little ladder thing that Cavill found.
Okay. It's a little toy ladder. It's made of wood that is nailed to the ceiling joist.
Hobby is going to poke her head back in the other room through the big old hole, possibly, to eeny, meeny, or miny, and say...
Now, the hole has been patched for a definition of patch that doesn't necessarily include airtight. So yes, I'm going to say there is certainly a hole that is large enough for Hobby to stick her head through, very much like a cat sticking their head through a hole in a cardboard box.
Hobby is stable cat, which is like ceiling cat, but not on the ceiling for a change.
Stable cat is watching you 10 bar.
Yes. Stable cat is asking, is there anything lucky or unlucky about tiny little ladders?
Eni makes an expression of, you are not making me think at this hour of the day. Well, I suppose you're not supposed to walk under ladders, but that's because something might fall off the ladder and hit you. And if it's a tiny ladder, I guess it'd only be bad luck for like bugs, ants. What is this? A ladder for ants?
Maybe moths.
Why would they walk under a ladder? They can fly.
I didn't say it was logical.
Okay, then we're on the right page, I think.
Yep.
Also, I appreciate that Hobby is stable cat. There was another tabaxi named Schrodinger. They are unstable cat.
Hobby will pull her head out of the stuff and would like to go do an investigation of the, just peek, poke her head in and look very closely at the ceiling and at the floor and just see if anyone has tried to curse poor Lily Fleece with bad luck.
Okay, that would be an investigation check to be certain.
That would be a very specific investigation check, and let's do it nice and thorough.
That is a 19 on the die for a 23 total.
Nice.
Yes, you find...
How do you want to do this?
That's right. You have made the killing blow against Lily E. Fleece. By the way, the killing blow was a belly rub, by the way.
Yeah, okay, valid.
Yes. So now they're belly up getting belly rubs.
Choose the fried dough.
Underneath their water trough, you find an umbrella.
It's
now,
open.
It is an open umbrella. Now, to be fair, it's not a full large umbrella like you might wear to actually stay dry or comedically lower your descent from a height. It's a drink umbrella.
But it's open.
But it is open.
Hobby is going to take the unlucky umbrella and close the little umbrella and stick it in a belt pouch or something. People are cursing each other's sheep with bad luck.
Bad luck really exists, though. I mean, people make choices. They're not always good choices.
Is this a question to make when we're playing a game that involves rolling dice?
Mm-hmm.
Mac's kind of trying not to kill people, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I suppose it's the kind of sabotaging your opponent that if it works, no one would believe it.
To be fair, I just asked D1C3, is bad luck a thing? And I did get both one light pip and one dark pip.
So that's a maybe.
Yeah, we're going to ignore the one threat and two failures that also occurred from that. Just focus on the 50-50 split of the last two things on that list.
So this is a shrug.
It's a somewhat failure shrug.
Yeah, it's a failure shrug. Right. Okay.
I'm interpreting it as a shrug, in spite of evidence to the contrary.
Yeah.
Notably, two failures and a threat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a veiled threat. It's just a threat.
Bobby is going to consider whether she should remove the tiny ladder.
Is this something in kobold culture? Do they just do this?
I have no idea.
Little objects that can't probably hurt anyone.
the entirety of kobold culture that you've encountered, I take that back, 95% of what you've encountered from kobold culture, you have encountered specifically through interactions with A.
Right.
Which can be interpreted as everything can kill us and probably will.
Let's take down the little ladder. Hobby will use Mage Hand to futz with it.
To be very honest, it's probably easier to break the ladder to take it down than to pull out the nail.
I mean,
It was a very small wooden ladder.
True. Okay. Pull the thing and futz
It's
with
about
it.
the
Or
same
jump
size
up.
as the drink umbrella.
Yeah. Is it even nailed up there? Or is it just hanging off a nail?
It split the wood of one of the ladder legs when it was nailed in.
Yoink.
Yeah. So now if that ladder was life size, you wouldn't want to climb it. It would not be seen as structurally integrated. But it doesn't matter. You have removed the bad luck charm.
Yes. The bad luck charm is removed. Does anyone want to check Rex's stall for bad luck charms?
I'll go look.
Okay. Give me an animal handling check.
Oh my. Okay.
Let's see if I can ask you to roll this properly.
Let's
give me a moment here. I'm going to click a button and see if it pops up on
Okay.
your end.
Okay. Okay. Animal handling check. Skill check. Okay, got it.
That's a nat
20.
20.
Yes.
The hardest thing that happens to you when you get into Ovis Aries Rex's stall to look for bad luck charms is, I mean, you do have to pat Ovis Aries on the head and tell it it's a good
giant sheep. Yes.
You don't know if it's a boy sheep or a girl sheep. It doesn't really matter, but it's a good sheep. Yes, it's a very good sheepy. It gives you a lick.
Unexpected.
Are you painted, or is it just like metal?
It's metal.
Okay. Whatever patina the metal had on the front of you, it no longer has.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But it's okay. There is now a layer of protective spit.
Slime.
Perhaps it'll do. And I'm going to look around and see if I can find anything small and probably not harmful, but maybe the kobolds think
and that
so.
will be the investigation check.
Okay. 10.
All right, that is a 10. You don't find anything. Now, this could mean a variety of things. It could mean nothing was there. It could mean there was something there. Ovis Aries Rex trampled it. It could mean there was something there, but it got swept up with the debris when Ovis Aries Rex made a new exit.
I'm going to pat it on the head and see if the whatever little item got stuck in all that fluff somewhere.
There is, I will say, from the nat 20 you got for animal handling, you did not notice anything unusual about a giant sheep with T-Rex stats.
Right. Well, you know.
Beyond the fact that it's a giant sheep with T-Rex stats.
Right. Yes.
We detect the T-Rex stats.
That's a good idea. I see that in the chat. Okay. Well, if it seems like nothing's in there from as far as I can tell, so I'm just gonna walk back out to where I was.
If there are any like towels or rags around that look like, for stable things, hand one to Mech for, cleaning self off.
That'll buff off.
Yeah.
You hand Mech a chamois.
I try wiping off whatever the sheep did.
It's not a sham wow. It doesn't absorb as much.
Right. But it's
something. Microfiber.
So I've got this little stripe across the front of my chest now. With missing metal patina, I guess.
Yes.
Shiny.
It's fine. One round of combat and you'll be back to normal.
Oh, yeah. No worries.
Sit in the front row at the sheep races and you'll be back to normal.
Right.
Hobby will, in fact, take the thingies out to where Tex is and display, this was an open umbrella. I closed it. This is a ladder. Hand them over. I think they're hexing each other.
Thank you. I would not have known that.
Bad lucks.
I'm replying specifically to, this is an umbrella. This is a ladder.
Oh.
Yes, well, it's not clear. Well, this is an umbrella. It was open. Is the
Wait. Are my nat ones that I got, like the multiple nat ones I got in a row because I'm sober and that's my bad luck charm?
Apparently.
I think it must be.
This is why I said when Jem was saying, well, that luck isn't really a thing. Is this the right game to be making that statement?
No.
We can call it on purpose. Say it was purposefully immersive gameplay.
I guess, yeah. But well, the way I see it is that Mech doesn't really, she's very literal.
But Chad, along with this bad luck situation, accidentally meta-y.
The DM and the player behind the DM both agree with Mech.
Mm-hmm.
However, dice jails are a thing for a reason.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's not because they work.
This
They make us feel better.
Bad luck situations, and I am having horrible rolls.
Dice jail makes us feel better.
I even know what my dice look like.
But why would someone have escalated to worse than just trying to hex the Rex?
Hey,
my helper NPC is underground and out of earshot, so I can't interject.
Do you know what they win if they win the race?
Fame?
I have no idea.
I think
More
we
sheep?
try to find that out.
That makes sense.
All right, so I'm going to say you head back into the tavern and the bed and breakfast. Technically, they still have beds, they still have breakfast. They don't have a bar, sort of. So.
Sort of, yeah.
Not as much of a tavern.
This is a mimosa.
We can offer you a virgin mimosa.
No.
Or a Shirley Temple.
You know what? It's better than nothing. I can at least placebo it.
I also have this can of tomato juice.
Oh my gosh, can you put a pepper in it?
Sure. They dice up a green pepper and put it in.
You know what? It's better than nothing.
It's a V8.
I mean, I'm not really the cook. That's Mo. Mo knows what they're doing.
Didn't you have a thing that produced beer?
It was called a keg.
Chadrick had one.
I love kegs.
Chadrick, where's your porta keg?
Oh yeah, I have a portable beer keg. I do.
This is what happens when Chadwick gets sober. Chadwick forgets that he has a magical item that lets him make beer.
I drink my beer for the day. I need my luck.
You got it specifically so you could offer beer to other people to heal them with a medallion.
Mm-hmm.
Chadrick needs it. Chadrick's luck is not great.
Chadwick is now slightly less sober for the next hour.
Wonderful.
Actually, wait, that's not true. As a paladin, you're immune to poison. And by D&D rules, getting inebriated means you are poisoned.
Yeah, I'm just getting my BAC back to like my normal healthy level.
No. You don't understand. As a paladin, you are immune to poison.
I know.
Since you got this ability, because you don't get it at level 1, so since you leveled up to get this ability, you've actually been sober against your will the entire time.
I am placeboing myself.
I love everything about this.
I mean, just because Chadrick is sober doesn't mean that his blood alcohol content isn't high.
It's actually been going down to almost human levels again.
Tragic.
There's a known effect where if someone expects to get drunk off...
I convinced myself that I'm drunk.
Right. If someone expects to get drunk off a drink, they will feel the effects of intoxication even if the drink has no alcohol in it.
I had a friend in college who would get a caffeine high from a Yoo-hoo.
Wow.
The drink known for not having caffeine in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or actual chocolate, but never mind about that.
True.
Anyway, all that aside, you went back into the bed and breakfast to ask about what people actually get when they win the sheep races.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask that. Yeah, you're right.
Well, we have a trophy that we kind of pass around. Whoever wins the next race gets the trophy from the last person. There's a whole ceremony where the winner of the last race comes up and hands the trophy over to the next person, and the next person dodges. Very traditional, very symbolic.
Who has the trophy right now?
I'll be honest, I don't know, because we weren't in the last race.
Right, they wouldn't let Rex run, would they?
No. They're still mad because Rex blocks more than one lane of the racetrack.
You could offer to do a handicap where Rex starts later than the others.
You know, that is one of the things we suggested. And the argument was that Rex would probably just run over the other sheep.
I suppose you could have Rex run first and then the others could try to beat Rex's time.
You know, I'll try that the next time we have the discussion. The last argument we made was we were willing to repaint all the lines on the track to be Rex widths. But the complaint was there wouldn't be a lot of lanes in the track then, unless we got rid of the stands.
That might be a problem.
Oh, rules correction from Ellie. Paladins are immune to disease, not poison.
We can use lay on him.
So
Okay.
Chadwick can in fact still get drunk.
Oh, good.
Because I will not go and make things be diseases when they're not diseases, including death. Pointing that out again, because I feel I need to.
But
As a paladin, you are not immune to death.
I did roll a persuasion check to myself, and I got a 14.
Yes, you are very drunk on this one beer.
I convinced myself I was drunk.
For the next hour, you have failed your save, and you are poisoned.
For the next hour, I have successfully convinced myself of the placebo effect.
I love this is
Placebo.
a conversation.
Placebo.
Placebo.
Beer SIBO.
We'll workshop it later.
Yeah.
Or in the chat, or both.
Both is good.gif.
Yes. Anyway, we kind of just started the races for fun. The whole gambling thing is sort of a side hustle that a bunch of kobolds decide to be bookies for. There's a bunch of kobolds who deal with that, and every now and then we get a visitor who shows up and either gives us a lot of money or takes a lot of money or moves a lot of money around. Dirge doesn't say anything over there at the table.
All right, didn't hear that. Say it again.
Dirge is very conspicuously not talking about moving a lot of money around.
Dirge
Okay.
is slowly drinking their water,
Mm.
which conveniently hides the great big smile on their face because they did clean house last night. Right before Ovisaries Rex cleaned the bar.
Right.
With the same level of sophistication. But
Oops.
for the most part, we do it for the fun.
Hmm.
So
I
why would...
can't actually go ahead.
No, you.
I can't actually move my character into the bar, so
You have to move it all the way around the outside.
Yeah, that's
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Or the GM does it.
Yeah, that's fine. Fine.
It's a new
I
dance
forgot
move
what
called
I
the
was
GM
gonna say.
slide.
I forgot what I was going to say. I'll remember in a bit. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering why anyone would bother to sabotage Rex so drastically instead of just bad lucking Rex.
probably thought it needed a little bit more because of how big the boy is.
More than what?
More than a bad luck charm.
Or what if they
The way
did? Bad luck was just that they got the wrong food.
the way you say this implies, if I make an investigation check, that you have found bad luck charms on the sheep.
No, not on the sheep.
In there.
And they weren't
pens.
magic anyway. Cavill would have noticed if they were magic.
And there didn't seem to be any of those in the big sheep's pen.
What
far as I
kinds
can
of
tell.
charms?
There was an umbrella.
Was it open?
Uh-huh. It was.
Oh no! That would be horrible if it actually did anything at all.
I know.
This can only be the work of Rihanna.
Who?
Oh no.
I feel like I missed a joke.
It's okay. It's probably a Warforged joke.
The DM also missed the joke.
Rihanna is a singer who has a song called Umbrella.
Oh, I have only heard that song when watching a former Doctor Who actor perform it,
Oh, okay.
which could now probably get you arrested in Florida.
Probably.
Odd. Yeah.
Also, there was a ladder. It was small, but people were walking under it.
How small? Because
Make a gesture.
we're kind of short.
Make a gesture.
Oh, so like a step ladder, but it was one step.
Well, Tex, you've still got it, right?
Oh, wait.
Yes, I do.
This is the step ladder for ants you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Well, I guess that's a thing.
And the most dangerous one is the one that was a broken mirror in a bag.
Oh, so like 7 years bad luck if you're the one who broke it?
They probably put it in a bag and stuck it where the sheep would step on it.
You know, that makes a lot more sense than what I was thinking.
Breaking it and giving it to the sheep?
Yeah, that would just be bad luck for whoever broke it.
Right.
Assuming luck was a thing.
Right.
Like I say, it's a bunch of bad luck charms, so why would somebody do worse to poor Rex?
There weren't any charms in there that I could find.
Well, you may have noticed Rex is kind of big
Uh-huh.
Right.
and can like eat a whole bale of hay in a single bite,
Not surprised by that either.
and looks like gave you a buffing.
Kind of.
Mhm.
I
It's
can get
still
that
dripping
fixed.
a little bit over here, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
I take out the whatever I was given.
The
Wipe it off
chamois.
again. Yeah, the chamois. I was like, let me fix that. Okay, I can get this fixed later.
It's fine. It's fine. The floor's seen worse. Last night it saw worse.
Right.
Yeah, it ate the shellac right off the floor too. But in any case, it's possible that whoever put those things down was just too scared of Rex to get close.
Could be.
Reasonable, but I mean, Rex isn't even allowed to run. At least not this next one.
Well, not the last one or the next one, but we're hoping for the one after the one after the one after that.
What if they knew that the other sheep would follow Rex?
The other sheep don't tend to follow Rex unless they all have the same direction they have to run. And even then, it's the jockeys that are telling them which way to go. Otherwise, they'd kind of just run for the grass and be more of a slow amble. If anything, if Rex gets upset, the sheep run away from Rex, not the other way.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is a valid life choice.
Yeah.
Life choice in that you keep your life.
But it's more fun to ride on top of Rex.
Well, everyone's got to die somehow.
That's fun.
Eenie just stares at you, does a slow blink,
Mhm.
and then goes back to wiping the top of the 2x4 that has replaced the bar. It does not need to be wiped.
Because when you're riding Rex, you're tall.
That just increases your visibility. That's a bad thing for kobolds.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
I mean, except for Gox.
What's a Gox?
You would know Gox if you saw Gox.
Well,
Do we know Gox?
We haven't seen him yet.
Only
What does
kobold
he
I
look
know
like?
who's gold and the size of a dragon with the intelligence of a dragon and the strength of a dragon. And, well, Gox is a dragon. Gox is a gold dragon now.
He's a gold dragon now. What was he before?
A kobold. He's still a kobold.
Okay. Well, I guess
Meanie
if we see a
elbows
gold
Eenie
dragon.
in the ribs and says, Ixnay on the Agenray. That is very poor draconic. I don't understand. Ixnay on the Agenray.
We're not going to chase a dragon.
It's a secret. What?
We'll keep the secret.
And this is why I have learned not to ask.
I am loudly now saying, I forgot how to understand words for the last minute.
Oh, that happens to you too?
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
often.
As the person who played Gox, Gox is not worried about being seen as a dragon or a kobold. So
There are
it's terribly
kobolds who want
funny
to keep
me.
that as a secret, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think Gox has met these guys, so.
There are enough ultra powerful wish casting kobolds in this campaign setting as it is
Yes.
to make other countries feel like the Circle of Tales is a threat that needs to be dealt with.
They're just jealous that they're not getting turned into dragons as well.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Gox isn't the dangerous one.
No, not at all.
Gox is the nice one.
Uh-huh. He just wants to protect all the kobolds.
And he ate
Honestly-
enough bacon to get spell slots.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He thinks so.
Honestly, most of them would probably be more afraid of Zeely than anyone else.
Yeah.
Daldane has an image as a performer. They should be afraid of Daldane,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not because the whole celebrity thing. And yes, and Socks, they only find out about Socks when it's too late.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yes. And none of them were involved in the moon disappearing more than once either.
No, none of them.
What did I say in the last session that we did? 95% references to previous sessions by volume.
Well, maybe people will go look those up and enjoy them.
At this point, anyone who's listening to this episode has probably listened to all those already, or was part of them,
Right.
or both.
Mm-hmm.
This appears to be potentially a dead end. How long do you think A is going to need to keep hanging out with actual like kobold friends?
I don't know.
I'm just sorry.
Give me an insight check.
Okie dokie. Insight.
Okay.
18?
With an 18, the I don't know is done with the same inflection and body language that someone would give if they have an idea, but they're kind of uncomfortable talking about it.
I'm just wondering if we're going to be here long enough that it might be a good idea for someone to maybe sleep quietly in the stable to make sure that no one tries to feed Rex anything else inappropriate for sheeps.
Ooh, you want to do a stakeout?
Yeah.
No.
I'm just wondering.
Grain out.
Right, a grain out. Yes, we don't want to do any stakes around sheep. That would probably upset them.
I'll have you know all of our sheep are grass-fed.
Good. And I don't want to make them upset by thinking that someone is staking them out.
Why would we feed them steak?
I don't want them to think that they're going to get eaten.
I volunteer to spend the night in the stables.
True,
we do eat them, right?
But you don't tell them you do you?
Why would we lie to them?
So they don't run away from you?
They're literally sheep. They don't speak common or draconic. They don't even speak sheep.
All right, then.
What do they speak?
They just go, bah.
Can I read their minds?
They do have surface thoughts. They're about the hay being good or not good.
Oh, poor thing.
I'll have some water now. I have had some water.
I need to pee in my citadel.
You know what? They don't think about whether or not they need to pee. They just go. They're sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Does Rex have qualitatively different thoughts than the smaller sheep?
Yeah, as a GMO sheep, does he have anything else?
Oh, no.
The other sheep do occasionally take notice of the fact that there is a sheep that is way larger than they are, but stays in its pen, unlike those bald sheep with the lizard-like tails that give them food. Rex, on the other hand, thinks of how there's a bunch of other sheep that are really, really tiny. And some of them have wool and some of them don't. And the ones without wool give Rex food.
I was really hoping that Rex was gonna have like a soliloquy in their head.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobly blah 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 blah. I don't have it memorized.
No barley?
Knowledge.
Whoa. Woo,
Oh,
whoa.
no. That one. That's the best one.
Anyway,
Yes,
Oh my goodness.
Ellie
look
has
at
shared a
that.
picture that is the current sheep situation, but with cows.
Yep. Wow.
Oh dear.
but can I ask them and see if they can possibly remember everyone who has given them food today?
You're going to go interrogate the sheep.
You are attempting to interrogate the sheep. I am only going to allow this because of your racial ability to be telepathic. But give me an animal handling check.
17.
Pretty good.
Today, 2 of them have not been fed yet.
Rude.
Yeah, that's what they think. You can see the bottom of their food trough in that one spot where they push the hay over to the side.
Mm-hmm.
They're
So they're
practically starving.
So they're like cats.
Poor things.
In this particular case, I've decided they are cats, yes.
No, that sounds about right.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I follow a shepherd. I mean, that's how I know about Soe sheep. So from what Shep says, that is entirely they have eaten all of the best hay bits, and now they're starving because there's only this dead grass nearby to eat. It's so pathetic.
But yes,
Thread
anything
count.
else?
So Iron Wool and Lily E Fleece have not yet been fed. Thread
Magic.
Count just got fed.
Okay.
And Ovis Aries Rex got fed extra last night after the wall got put back together. So they have not been fed yet this morning, but they're still kind of full.
Do they remember before the wall went down?
The what now?
Yeah.
Before the wall went down, like, do they remember being fed, like, last night?
No, you don't understand. They have never been fed before.
In their lives.
So we're going entirely in cat logic. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. That's what I wanted to know. I was wondering how good of a memory they have. The answer is goldfish.
I mean, they did get extra food last night before the extra food they got last night.
Do they remember who did it?
It appeared magically. When they looked away and then looked back, there was more food. It tasted kind of funny,
The
but
answer
it was
of
food.
a kobold.
It was in the food trough, therefore it was food.
They did get extra food last night from an unknown source. Don't ask how I know this.
Did you mind meld with a sheep?
I melded with all of the sheep.
Mo, it happened again.
Again?
That's the third
Again?
time this week.
Trying to help.
Now, this is very important. If you start to feel an inclination towards eating grass, you should resist it.
Trust me, my entire race lives on mind melding. This is not going to do something weird for me.
This is funnier to me considering that Chadwick ate some hay earlier
Yes.
tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Which Hobby was probably no. Chadwick
That
already
would not
sampled
be
the hay.
a good point to bring up.
Chadwick
No.
may or may not still have a piece of, like a single
Sticking out of my
straw
mouth.
sticking out of the side of his mouth, like he is someone pretending to be a farmer.
Armor in the Dale.
Oh no, we're too late.
It's fine.
No, sir, this
You're
is
one step
pathetic.
away from becoming our herbivore. You have to fight it.
Dude, I literally am a race that can read minds. Don't worry about it.
Here, eat the salami before it's too late.
I mean, sure.
It's only 95% off.
Ugh. Good thing I'm immune to poisoning.
No, you're
I was
immune to
talking about the
diseases.
price,
Oh,
but
That's
also the quality.
don't worry. You can lay on hands to cure poisoning.
Yes, you can.
That's true. Still immune.
Yeah.
And as a salami, it's not entirely 100% meat products anyway.
I know.
It's on this farm, if you see the sausage being made, it will mostly be grain products. The
That-
sausage will not be ordinary.
Oh no.
Concerning.
Actually, considering what ordinary sausage is, this is better for everyone.
I'm like, oh
yeah.
Behold, I've invented a sausage that's entirely made out of Skittles.
no. Oh,
I'll try that carefully.
One
but
Skittle
what-
falls out, it's a red dot.
Mm,
I was expecting the green circle.
truth.
No one expects the green circle.
don't you dare invoke the green circle in my D&D.
Green circle in my D&D?
It's
Much
more like
more
what I
likely.
think. In this D&D specifically, it's inevitable.
Yeah, Kobolds
Indeed.
my D&D group?
To be
Ever.
fair, we don't always have to have kobolds. This game was only going to have kobolds at the very beginning, and then you adopted one.
Uh-huh.
Right, right. Mhm.
Once again, you run an all kobold campaign. You expect us to be bloodthirsty about kobolds?
The last campaign, they adopted a goblin.
Mhm.
It was
True.
fine.
True. Hmm. That did happen.
The one
My
before that, it was a
last
small
campaign,
child.
We adopted a tabaxi. It was me.
No. I think we can all agree the Tabaxi was the one adopting everyone.
Yeah, I adopted parents
And a grandfather.
Oh,
and an
my.
aunt. Yeah, I adopted my own family. You're right.
You adopted two fathers. Sorry, dad and father.
Yeah, I
Right,
hated
right.
dad and father.
Hey, Chadrick.
Yeah.
Why does reality let you have two dads?
We're not in Florida.
Oh,
Oh, burn.
It's occurred to Tex to be curious about something, so when there's a break in Chadrick's mind melding.
The mind melding has ceased.
Okay. Tex has realized that nobody, well, to her knowledge, nobody has asked the other team why they're here.
They should. We did
It has
ask
been a
them.
month. They are here on vacation.
Okay.
They're on leave.
Yeah. They were doing quest after quest after quest. They are the reason why the Quest Hub has so few quests for players of your level. Because they've been doing them all.
They've
That
been
I recall.
grinding.
Yes.
I didn't read. I don't think Tex remembers that question was answered.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason that they came here was because they tried to find a place on the planet that was least likely to have shenaniganery that required ragtag bands of adventurers to solve a problem.
And then we walked into the inn.
It is an isolated community with many high-level, powerful people calling it home.
And what happens? We found shenaniganery.
Yes, but it's not their problem, and they're all too happy to let you be the ones solving it while they continue their vacation. It is great that you showed up when you did, because otherwise this might be their problem. And
they did.
Do not
Well,
want the problem.
Jex might be okay with it, but Jex was the driving force between them doing all those quests and making lots and lots of gold. They threatened to put Jex's Zolkun somewhere dangerous if they didn't get to go on vacation.
Reasonable.
Jex did not think it was reasonable.
Well, then maybe Jex shouldn't have been insisting that they all go on quests.
Why
so
else do you join an adventurer's guild?
So that you can sleep in the barracks?
Have you heard Kurg snore? Yes, you have.
Yes.
Before
sleeping in
last
the
night.
Possibly.
They don't sleep on the same side of the guild hall as you.
This doesn't mean we haven't heard it.
It doesn't mean you haven't heard it. It doesn't mean you haven't felt the vibrations.
Perhaps Kurg needs to be evaluated for sleep apnea.
Kurg is fine if Kurg sleeps on their stomach. Kurg flips over in their sleep.
I feel like some sort of magic could be used to keep Kurg on their stomach. Flip over, then flip back. Magically.
Ropes have been used. Kurg is a strength-based character.
Levitation could fix this.
Get a nice golden brown.
Rotate.
I missed what you said before the golden brown.
We gotta cook both sides. Little saute, little golden brown.
The kobolds have concerns about this idea. They have a penchant against talking meat.
Right.
Never said that we'd nibble. I don't think you could turn Kurg golden brown. Kurg is like a sea elf or something. What color is Kurg normally?
Blue skin. Kurg is a sea elf.
Yes. You
which
can't
basically means talking seafood.
You cannot make Kurg golden brown.
Oh, you can. You can. Kurg is wearing plate mail, and heat metal is a spell.
I don't think that the result would be golden brown. I think you'd get kind of blackish.
Ooh,
something.
Blackened fish?
Yeah.
Ooh, yummy.
Oh, no.
No. We are not eating fellow adventuring parties.
I'm planning on it. I just was taking a joke and then made it Gwent just ran.
And
the DM knows the joke and is thrilled that you're rolling with it. There are several people in this bed and breakfast who are horrified.
Talking character.
Kurg is not one of the ones who's horrified. Kurg thinks it's a funny joke.
Good. I feeling that he would.
Kurg's looking over at the other members of the submarine optimals who, like, Jexus is trying to pretend to not be there right now. But Fori and Dirge look very insulted, and Kurg's like, "What is funny?"
Poppy is just glad that the person in the plate mail is amused.
Sea elves, seafood.
You were complaining about flipping over in your sleep. I thought that was a funny... Anyway, glad you get it.
You're still invited to my next party.
Yeah.
They're going to go dude at each other and bump elbow, bump fist together, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're going to do that beginning of Predator scene where they just grab each other's hands and do the arm wrestle without a table thing. Which means Chadrick will immediately be thrown to the ground because one of them is strength-based and it's not Chadrick.
No,
Oh.
never said that I was going to win. I'm there for the fun of it.
Tex has an actual suggestion.
Tex goes to the bar to make a suggestion pursuant to the conversation with Jim. Call flag and officially make this a quest with the condition that when we discover what's going on, we hand the situation over to the local authorities who have the option of explicitly requesting that we take further action. Tex will float the funding for the quest registration if necessary, since it seems fairly low level at the moment.
And you're going to loan them the money to make it a quest.
Yes, so that we can say we're only being paid to do this much.
We
Okay,
are
that
paying
makes-
ourselves to do this much, minus the handling fee, but we are paying ourselves to do this much.
So that we
Well,
don't
it's also
Yeah.
it's also so that we're specifically and explicitly accountable to flag if things go wrong. This is the entire suggestion is to make them feel better.
No, that makes sense.
It sounds to me like you're trying to make sure you're going to be covered by your employer's insurance.
I mean, maybe that too.
Good plan.
But this means that people won't think that we're hanging around going to do something terrible to kobolds and start trying to sabotage us.
Right. We've been actively retained in order to handle this situation.
By the way, Miney has borrowed Cavill's pencil again and is making another note on the 2x4 that's being used as the bar. Get in ants.
Yeah.
They hand the pencil back.
Yes, gain
That's
some
his-
assurance.
Also going to offer to repair the hole in the wall.
What? We did.
Would you like it to be a little more repaired?
I guess?
Is the amount of repair what you'd hoped for?
It's what we were willing to do.
Fair enough.
I've been assuming that since we're going back and forth through the wall, it's
Probably a little.
That you have not been going back and forth through the wall in character. I've been dragging you through the
Okay.
wall because it's faster. And Foundry just says, "Oh, you drug the character to here. I will slowly have them glide to that spot. Walls be damned."
Ah,
I understand.
But
I didn't realize that
Yeah.
repairs had been made.
Honestly-
well, repairs to a certain definition of the word repair. There are spots that can fit a tabaxi head,
Mm-hmm.
but those are the largest holes.
I mean, honestly, it might do better to just have a door that you could actually go in and out when the sheep get upset.
Remember, the particular hole that's patched is partway up the stairwell.
Because it came in through. Yeah.
It came in through that particular spot, yes.
Like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, like that.
like a giant Tyrannosaurus in the shape of a sheep. Or a wrecking ball, yes.
Well, it's
So
something.
You get a message back from member services. Hey, so this is oddly enough not an odd request. You'd be surprised how many of the quests that we process are suggested by adventurers. So yeah, you're pre-approved.
All right, thumbs up.
And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
all right.
Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for playing. Tonight was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Jen, Io, and Milo. Who wants to plug a thing?
EO.com writes book elizabeth-mccoy.com, and if you see one you like, you can tell your local library to try to get it as an ebook that you could read through the Libby app,
I
because they're
am
real
really
cheap
liking
to
the Libby
libraries. It's good.
I am really liking the Libby app. It is wonderful.
I do love that app.
I just got a Kobo e-reader a few weeks ago, and it is my new favorite way to read books.
That's cool.
And relatively inexpensive, too.
I just read them on my phone, but I'm a weirdo. So it doesn't stress my eyes out that much.
Oh, yeah,
To each their own.
I've got a Paperwhite because for whatever reason, reading books on a digital device hurts my eyes unless it has the paper appearance.
Huh.
But hey, you know what? Speaking of books,
Uh-huh.
My website is Book of Jen at bookofjen.net. It does have some book reviews up. I've been slowly adding them as I have the energy to do so. It's also got a lot of Diablo-related stuff from Diablo 3 mostly, also a little bit of Diablo 2, and eventually there'll be Diablo 4 stuff up there too, sometime in June, I assume. There is a server slam that's going to happen in May, so we'll see how that goes. Other than that, I'm the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which is about all the Diablo games that Blizzard creates and whatever's going on with the company. You can find that at shatteredsoulstone.com, and new episodes come out every Saturday.
I saw today that you posted about that on social media. And speaking of social media...
And gaming.
Yeah. I run a Mastodon instance called elek.xyz. That's ELEKK.xyz. It is Schrodinger's Federated. It's either if you're good, I let you see the post. If you're not, you don't. Yeah, it is always willing to have new people, but we do have, you can't sign up yourself. You do have to send someone a message because that way I can make sure you're not a robot.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And speaking of Patreon, someone was. I don't know who, but someone was speaking of Patreon. It was me, in the study, with the candlestick. Patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. Help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. And until next time, this is Crash saying, I liked the part where they talked about sheep for a long time. Good night, everybody.
Bye.